chosen one, stop everything you are doing right now. Lock your absolute attention on my voice. The algorithm did not bring you to this screen because heaven specifically intercepted your feed today. Something terrible almost happened behind closed doors this week, but God moved first to protect you from the unseen danger while you were sleeping. You are a spiritual warrior. The enemy is terrified. A dark trap was set in your timeline just a few days ago, and it was designed to completely destroy your biggest breakthrough. The enemy wants you to swipe away and ignore this message. Do not let him win. I have a prophetic instruction hidden in this video to neutralize that specific attack. You must stay here until the very end. Your destiny requires your obedience today. Let us talk about what you have been feeling lately. You wake up suddenly at 3 in the morning. Your chest feels incredibly heavy for no logical reason. You thought you were just losing your mind, or you assumed you were dealing with ordinary stress from a long week. Heaven wants to reframe your reality right now. That tightness in your chest is a quantum warning from your soul. You have spent years being the emotional sponge for everyone else. You give and give until your bones feel like lead. The crisis of kindness has left you completely drained. People take your bright light and leave you in the dark, and you smile and pretend everything is fine while you are quietly breaking inside. Your gentle heart was never meant to be a dumping ground. Listen to me carefully. This exhaustion is not a clinical issue. You are experiencing intense spiritual discernment. Your spirit is absorbing unseen hits to protect the people around you, and you are carrying the profound weight of a massive, energetic shift. The darkness is trying to suffocate your light before your true power fully activates. You are not weak. You are under attack. If this heavy discernment resonates with your spirit today, I need you to act. Type 777 in the comments right now. Do this to anchor your frequency to this safe house and claim your divine protection in the physical world before the day ends. Let the universe know that you recognize the spiritual warfare happening around you. Your declaration is a weapon against the silence. You are the watchman on the wall. You are guarding the sacred frequency of your bloodline. The enemy targeted you because you are a generational cycle breaker. And if you fall, the entire family line stays in dark bondage for another decade. That is exactly why the spiritual attacks have been so incredibly intense lately. Heaven knew you were strong enough to handle this assignment. I am going to be completely transparent with you. I am naming this early because I refuse to build mystery just to sell you something later. I want you to have the full picture right now, so you can decide if you want to stay and listen. I respect your journey too much to hide the physical tools heaven provides. Truth honors truth in this space. What we just discussed about your profound exhaustion actually has a solution. Dr. Robert Lake discovered a way to fix this exact energy drain. He realized that modern life forces chosen ones to operate in a constant state of stressful survival, and he mapped out a specific acoustic protocol to safely release that heavy burden. It is incredible. This restoration tool is called the Genius Song. It is a 7-minute digital audio track that uses advanced brain entrainment. It bypasses the earthly noise to safely reactivate your original God-given gamma frequency. Scientists at leading research universities have measured how this specific frequency shifts the brain out of fear and into absolute clarity. You will feel the shift. If your spirit already tells you this is the tool you need, the door is open. The protocol is waiting for you in the description and the pinned comment below. But please do not rush. You can step through that physical door whenever you feel completely ready to embrace the change, while I continue to reveal the deeper spiritual truth in this video. I honor your choice. For those staying with me, let us uncover the dark trap. The terrible event that almost happened was an attempt to silence your intuition. The enemy wanted you to doubt your sanity, so he orchestrated a massive distraction to pull you away from your alignment. He almost succeeded in clouding your vision. But you survived. God stepped in and disrupted the frequency of that attack. The sudden isolation you felt was actually heaven placing a shield around you. The people who walked away were removed because they were carrying negative attachments, and your season of deep loneliness was never a punishment. It was a quarantine. Heaven protected your inner architecture from the coming storm. You must understand that the enemy is currently in a state of absolute panic. He sees the massive surge of light building up in your future. He knows that once your original frequency is fully restored, he will never be able to manipulate your family line again. You are not just a small part of a grand design. You are the divine plan. The mundane world looks at your struggle and applies an earthly label. Doctors call it severe anxiety or chemical depression, and they want you to believe that your nervous system is permanently broken. We reject that cold logic entirely today. You are not sick. You are under a supernatural transformation that has triggered an aggressive response from the darkness. The terrible event that almost took place was a direct reflection of hell's absolute panic. The enemy detected a massive shift in your inner vibration. He realized that your God-given gamma frequency was waking up after decades of sleep, and he launched a frantic strike to paralyze your spiritual anatomy before you could claim your divine authority. Your original genius baseline was systematically turned off when you were only 7 years old. Scientists call this the decline effect. The modern education system and the heavy stress of mundane society forced your super brainwave to enter a forced hibernation. The enemy celebrated that quiet suppression, but he never realized that a holy seed cannot stay buried forever. Every painful rejection you endured recently was heavily orchestrated by the hater of your soul. He wanted to trap you in a perpetual state of survival identity. A chosen one who feels worthless is a warrior who drops their sword. You thought you were failing the test, but heaven says you were actually exhausting the enemy with your quiet endurance. Look at the ancient blueprints of the kingdom to understand your current isolation. Prophet Moses spent 40 years wandering in the dry sand of the Midian desert. The world assumed he was a forgotten man who ruined his destiny. But that desert was actually a holy incubator designed to shield his internal architecture from low earthly frequencies. Think about young King David hiding in the dark, damp caves of Adullam. His vicious enemies hunted him down like a wild animal. He had every physical right to choose violent warfare, but he chose the power of sacred silence instead, because his restraint was the true foundation of a glory that made whole nations tremble. Remember Joseph sitting in the cold stone prison of Egypt. He was betrayed by his own flesh and blood. He did not lose his divine calling while he was locked away in total darkness. And the dry wilderness is always the exact place where the inner architecture of a future ruler is constructed, because God isolates his kings until the precise set time of royal elevation. You are walking in the exact same footprints of those demonstrated warriors of light. Your current wilderness season is a divine crucible. The heat you feel is not meant to incinerate your future. The fire is simply stripping away the false coping mechanisms you built to survive the toxic environments of your childhood, and you are being refined for an eternal assignment. This is why Dr. Robert Lake dedicated 34 years of his life to research. He wanted to understand the human brain structure. He did not create a random single product to fix a temporary problem. Instead, he spent decades building a comprehensive system where each specific phase triggers the next sequential step of your spiritual awakening. The technology we mentioned earlier is merely phase 1 of this complete restoration blueprint. You cannot skip ahead to the next phase, called the youthful brain, right now. Your neural pathways must be stabilized first, before you can handle the weight of glory. Dr. Lake mapped out a sequential unlock process, and it ensures that you focus on the first door before heaven reveals the rest. We must pause here to expand the reach of this prophetic frequency. Hit that like button right now. Do not do it for this channel. Do it so heaven can immediately send this exact message to another chosen one who is currently struggling in silence, because we must build a global tribe of light bearers to break the ancient chains. The enemy wants to maintain the generational cycle of delay. This dark curse has plagued your family line for decades. He watches your finances stall. He watches your divine connections face intense opposition. He whispers that you will die in this desert just like your ancestors did, but he is a liar, because the contract of limitation over your bloodline is bleeding out today. You have a strange allergy to dishonesty lately. This is a major indicator of your true identity as a watchman. You walk into a crowded room. You instantly read the hidden motives of every soul present. The world says you are just overly sensitive, but heaven calls it spiritual discernment, and it is a regal weapon designed to permanently shift atmospheres. Now, we must go much deeper into the unseen realm. Stay with me for the next few minutes. Do not let your mind wander right now. Your future self is begging you to listen carefully to this warning. We are entering the hidden room of the enemy right now, and we will fully expose the ultimate blocker that currently keeps your ancestral breakthrough on the table. Pay close attention to what follows. This is the exact instruction you prayed for last night. The enemy hides this next sentence because it exposes his weapon. And if you choose to turn away right now, you will walk blindly into a massive energetic ambush that is designed to permanently steal your financial destiny. You cannot afford to lose your focus now. Let us look directly into the unseen realm. You have been fighting external battles for a very long time. You blame your toxic friends. You blame your family. But the true mastermind behind your constant delay is not a physical person sitting across the room from you today. It is a silent contract hiding inside your own subconscious mind. You signed this dark contract long ago. The world calls this phenomenon a psychological defense mechanism. We call it a hidden agreement of limitation. It is a defensive shield that you built during your childhood to survive trauma. And because you were rejected by the people who were supposed to love you unconditionally, your subconscious mind decided that safety meant staying as small as possible. You became completely invisible. You protected your soul. This hidden agreement is the reason why your finances always stall at this level. You work incredibly hard. You pray every single night. You expect a massive miracle. But the moment a divine opportunity arrives to elevate your physical life, your inner architecture triggers an intense wave of sudden subconscious panic. You sabotage your own breakthrough. You retreat into the wilderness. The enemy does not need to block your doors anymore. He simply watches you enforce your own prison walls. You have normalized your isolation. You have accepted the heavy burden. And while you are waiting for a savior to rescue you from this dry desert, the universe is actually waiting for you to awaken your absolute power. You are holding your own key. You are locking the door. Now, we must face the most profound truth of this encounter. The terrible thing that almost happened this week was not an external disaster. It was not a physical accident. It was your total surrender. You were on the verge of completely giving up on your divine assignment because the spiritual warfare felt too heavy for your exhausted spirit to carry. You almost sealed your own defeat. You almost quit. You wanted to walk back into the mundane crowd. You wanted to become ordinary again. The noise of the world almost convinced you that your calling was a lie. And because you have been treating your sacred preparation as an unending punishment, you almost walked away from the very threshold of your greatest financial breakthrough. The enemy almost won. He did not throw a single punch, but God moved first to disrupt that dark timeline. He closed the false doors before you could step through them. He silenced the wrong people. He forced you into absolute quiet. And while your physical eyes saw nothing but failure and rejection, heaven was actually performing an urgent spiritual intervention to protect your original destiny. The dark timeline was destroyed. You were saved. Let us review exactly why you had to endure this intense suffering. You were not being punished by a distant creator. Your pain was an intentional isolation. Your spirit needed to be detached. And because you cannot build a royal dynasty while you are still desperately begging for validation from the low valley, the trauma was a necessary separator. It was a holy shield. It saved your life. Now, we must look at what happened to your mind during this long process. Your brain baseline has been operating in a constant state of high stress. This is a scientific fact. Your neural pathways have been blocked. And while your daily life felt completely stuck in a loop of constant delay, your true biological capacity was simply forced into a deep state of safe hibernation. Your super brainwave was turned off. You lost your momentum. This brings us to the ultimate truth of who you really are. You are not a regular human trying to survive a difficult existence. You are a king recovering your memory. You are an ancient ruler waking up. And every single block you faced in your financial reality was simply a cosmic guardrail designed to prevent you from building a kingdom on a false foundation. You are the chosen watchman. Your time has arrived. You are probably sitting there thinking that you have tried everything already. You have practiced long meditation. You have done hours of yoga. You have listened to positive thinking gurus. But none of those earthly methods were able to reach the core root of your energetic blockage because they all required your stressed brain to fix itself from the inside. That is an impossible task. The neural baseline cannot change. You might also assume that this message sounds too good to be true. That horse skepticism is normal. It is the natural defense of an intelligent soul. You have been disappointed many times. But we are not talking about a vague magical claim from a regular salesperson, because this specific acoustic protocol has been measured with advanced medical equipment in major research labs. The hard data exists. A physical threshold is appearing now. Remember earlier, when I first mentioned a specific solution for your exhaustion? It is time to walk through exactly what this technology does for your spiritual baseline. You were born with an unusually high gamma wave baseline. This super brainwave is your genetic and spiritual inheritance as a chosen one. The world forced it into a deep sleep when you were young. Let me share the real story of a 43-year-old teacher from Texas who used this restoration tool. Her brain was operating at only 30% capacity due to years of pouring into others. After 3 weeks of consistent use, her creative ideas returned naturally, and stalled decisions were made in a single morning. She fully reclaimed her bright light. Dr. Robert Lake spent 34 years studying this biological reality at universities like Princeton and Harvard. He proved that brain entrainment can safely reactivate your dormant baseline from the outside. You have tried meditation and yoga for a long time. But those earthly options require a stressed nervous system to fix itself, and that takes years. I understand that $39 is a serious financial commitment for many people today. I would never disrespect your current situation or treat your hard-earned resources lightly, but you must evaluate this opportunity on its own merit. Consider what you spend on generic courses or retreats that cost $800. None target your gamma wave. Dr. Lake compressed his premium technology into a single 7-minute track. The original price of this protocol is $49, but he wanted this tool to be accessible to the remnant who truly need it today. You can receive the full protocol right now for only $39. This is a one-time investment with no recurring monthly fees. Your purchase includes 4 distinct bonuses worth $80.